Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some iPhone 13 wishlist items that I would really like to see on the new iPhone 13 that's coming out this year. I know we don't know if it's the iPhone 13 or 12s. I feel like iPhone 13 kind of just slides off the tongue easier, but I don't really know. Before we get into this video, make sure you click on the subscribe button down below as well as the bell notification button so you don't miss out on any of the other uploads. I know about like 98% of you guys aren't subscribed yet, so please subscribe. It really is the best way to support the channel. So yeah, let's get started. For the general design of the iPhone, I'm not expecting any drastic changes or anything, since it has been rumored that this is more of like an S upgrade year. If you don't know what like the S means, it's like there's not major differences in design, kind of like what they did with the iPhone 10 and 10s or the iPhone 6 and 6s. There's not much design changes, but internally there's obviously some changes, and there might be some design changes here and there, but not major. As long as they keep this square design from the iPhone 12 series, I'm fine with it. Like seriously, this, I've said this multiple times in videos, the 12 series and just like the iPhone 5s and all that in general, this square design is my favorite design of any iPhone. So I absolutely love this. As long as they keep this design, I would be more than happy. This is really my favorite of all time. Look at it. Gorgeous. And like we say every single year, I'm really hoping for a smaller notch. The notch never has bothered me as much as it does some other people. But I mean, a smaller notch is it's just the ideal way, and no notch is obviously like the most ideal circumstance. But I know the technology isn't there yet to like put those sensors like underneath the screen or anything. Like the technology isn't there yet, so just having a smaller notch would just be better than removing those sensors, because I still like Face ID a lot. So yeah, I really am hoping for a smaller notch. That would obviously be great. I've seen a lot of like rumors and renders of them moving up the speaker or the like earpiece, what do you call it, and then just have the sensors underneath that to like just make it smaller, because now it's like the speaker and the sensors all in just like in a line, so that would definitely make it smaller. So I do prefer rather have the notch be less wide as opposed to just having the like thickness of the notch being less, because that just looks kind of silly to me. So I prefer like the less wide notch. It just looks better in my opinion. Again, there are so many renders and things of people speculating. This is just my kind of own thoughts on it and just like what I would like to see. While we're on the topic of the notch and Face ID and everything, I would really love to see more improvements on Face ID. I mean, it's not bad, but I just think there could be more updates just to make it more convenient. I don't really know how they're gonna do it, but just like some updates to Face ID would also still like be welcomed. It would be a nice thing if they just updated a few things on Face ID just to make it even better. Not that there's anything wrong with it, just I think it can be better. Moving on from Face ID, I would like to talk about Touch ID, specifically an in-screen fingerprint sensor that we're pretty much all waiting for. I know there's a lot of talk about like which sensor Apple's gonna go for, so whether it's gonna be an optical sensor or an ultrasonic sensor. I don't want to go into all that technical jargon, but what I personally want in a fingerprint sensor from Apple is just that it's under the screen, obviously, that it's still as secure as it was with previous versions, even though it's under the screen, so it's a bit hard to get that security, but still have it be as secure as previous versions of Touch ID was, as well as like how secure Face ID is. And I would just like to have it like in a convenient place so that you don't have to focus too much every single time on like where specifically you're putting your finger to the screen, otherwise it won't unlock. So that's like all I'm really looking for in Touch ID, is just to have it secure, convenient, and under the screen. I'm just really happy that we are getting an in-screen fingerprint scanner on the iPhone 13, just because masks and Face ID is just meh. I really do prefer them still keeping the notch, just because it means that they won't get rid of Face ID yet, and I'm not ready to give up on Face ID yet. Yeah, because of the pandemic, like everything's a bit more difficult with masks and everything, but when you're not wearing a mask, Face ID is still very convenient, and I still love using Face ID. It's just because of the mask thing that we can't use it as frequently as we want to anymore. But having Face ID and Touch ID, both of those as an option, I think is really the best outcome, because some people prefer Face ID, some people prefer Touch ID, and with the pandemic and the masks and everything, it would just work better, I feel like. So yeah, I do prefer them keeping the notch, just because I'm not ready to give up on Face ID yet, because I still think it's a great technology. I'm obviously also very excited for the A15 Bionic chip that's going to be released with the iPhone 13, and just seeing like the performance of it and just how it improves. I don't know how faster smartphones can get, but I mean, it's got to be pretty dang fast. I also really hope we're finally getting a 120 Hz display this year. I know this is more like hardware than software or anything, but it does have a huge impact on how we perceive software and how fast it's gonna look on our phones. So yeah, I really am hoping for the 120 Hz display. We have it on the iPad Pros and things, but just having it on the iPhone I think would be just amazing. As for the camera, I don't have like a huge wish list for the camera, because like I've always felt like iPhone's cameras are good, but if I had to choose some things like that I really want is better zoom capability, so being able to zoom in like a bit farther without losing so much quality. And I would really love to see some improvements on night mode. It's not bad, it's never been bad, but I think it could still obviously be better. There's always room for improvement. So those are the two things that I could really want to see this year. It's just better performance with like zooming and everything, and then night mode. And obviously portrait mode would also be nice to see some improvements. I've known there is like talk about like improvements on portrait mode and things like that, so that would also be really nice. Again, none of these are terrible, it could be better. Another thing that I would really like to see in the future, it's not going to be coming out yet, definitely not, it's way too early for this, is night mode video on iPhone. Now who knows, maybe they're in the works with it, but I saw that documentary on Apple TV Plus. I think it's Earth at Night in Color, and those pictures and those videos are amazing. But you can see at night the color detail and everything. It really is amazing, and having that on your phone would just be insane. So I know it's probably not going to come out now, it's going to come in the future probably, but night mode videos would be amazing in the future. But okay, those are some of my wishlist items for the iPhone 13. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm not trying to be like, oh, this is the rumors or anything. This is just my opinion, what I would love to have or see in the iPhone 13. We'll see how many of these do come true. They're not like huge claims or anything. They're just trying to be practical, what I would love to see. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe once again. And definitely leave a comment down below your wishlist items for the iPhone 13, or just like what you would like to see. I'd really love to hear you guys' input. Definitely click on the playlist on the screen so you can see all my other tech related videos, and click on the video to see my previously uploaded video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Bye!